London, one of the most beloved cities in the whole world. The Orchestra of Sounds across London tells of a rich history dating back to the Industrial Revolution. Hyde Park, where nature is in complete harmony with industrial chaos. People celebrate their wish for plants and animals to continue to thrive.
And they've travelled all the way here to London to stand up and be counted, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
This is like, we went to see the Rolling Stones here the other year. This is like coming out from the Rolling Stones. What a turnout.
A lot of people. It shows the support that Chris Packham and all the people that
He's
are trying
packed
to...
them in.
Yes, he's packed them in. But also about the farmers getting on board as well. You know, just absolutely,
yes.
you know, organic, pesticides,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
Well, it seems a well thought...
Farmer, organic, pesticide, animal costume. How they related to each other.
Well, obviously for the wildlife, show support for the diminishing wildlife in Britain. Hedgehogs used to be a regular occurrence for me from the pub at night coming home, and you never see a hedgehog anymore.
No.
And the young girl on the stage highlighted that fact.
She did, yeah.
And then you think, well, what else don't you see anymore?
Yeah.
And butterflies. Budleia was full of butterflies when we were young.
It was, yeah.
And then, so these things creep up, and if you don't do anything about it now, it'll be too late.
People's Walk for Wildlife has no limitations for disabilities, sex, or age. It only promotes the harmony of all lives in one ecosystem. Alongside of the People's Walk, car drivers honk their horns to harmonize with demonstrators as a sign of support. London, one of the most liveliest cities in the world, resonate with the sounds of nature. Only a few miles away from Hyde Park, newly opened wetlands invited young new visitors.
We're here in the Prince of Wales Community Wetlands, which is in North London, Enfield Borough, and it's a beautiful open space used by all of the local community. Now it's an amazing network of urban community wetlands used by wildlife, local people, especially the kids. They love being close to water.
Hey. Oh!
20, 30,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, this place was covered in ice. And the ice has crushed all the rock because the ice is really heavy. And then they get round.
The natural wonders that remain fill with the strange heart of everlasting nature. According to him, this place began to flourish only a few years ago, after the water pipe was removed. And Wetlands for Wildlife Society changed it into open space. Now the wetlands has become a home to vast wildlife and humans alike.
Yay! Well done.
What would residents say to this idea of preservation?
Completely spoiled. So.
Yes, and I think part of that, if they do things like this, then it's more likely that they won't build houses on this field. than if they just left it as a horses field, which was lovely, but people don't seem to appreciate things just being a field with flowers. But maybe if people are working here, it will be safer from being developed.
Interestingly, I just met two ladies walking down the path. They've been here for the first time in 10 years. And before that, they were students, pupils at the school, and they left one in 59 and one in 61. So a long time ago, and they've seen the area transform, not always for the best in their opinion, and they're entitled to it, but when they saw this bit here, it gave them hope. So let's not dash that hope, and let's not dash the hope of all of us here, and make this work. So thank you all very much. Thank you to all our friends.
The hope of the old generation has been delivered to the young learners. Children who won't forget this memory will continue to take care of nature and its environment. Even though they will return to their home and focus on what they study in their schools and within their families, and layers of exams and challenges might cause estrangement between them, they won't forget that they can be a friend of nature once again.
So yeah, we're also going out that direction. So does everyone have a tool and gloves? And if you want a water bottle as well. But actually we're going to be working quite close to here at the start, so you can come back. So everyone follow me.
So basically, rhododendron is an invasive species. It was introduced a couple of centuries ago, I think, by probably a couple of landowners. We tend to try to keep them in check because they compete with the more local species. So essentially what we're doing is removing the invasives to keep the local species a bit more healthy, I guess.
Some rhododendron grow like giant trees, so they absorb much more nutrients as is necessary for their size. Rhododendron clusters will be cut, piled, and transferred by volunteers to be permanently eliminated at the end.
Demanding work, well, is both physical and mental demanding work. Physically, the most demanding, I believe, was cutting down trees using a saw blade. But it can also be psychologically demanding because when you're cutting down the tree, you need to be aware of where's the rest of your team. Are they close enough so that when the tree does come over, because it's not a small tree that we're cutting down, it's a large tree.
The shadows of large rhododendron have disappeared. Now, small local species can receive the dispersion of sunshine evenly. Next to the rhododendron forest, volunteers were heading to the spine of the hill for their next crucial task, as helping nature is a never-ending responsibility. The habitats of the wildlife are mostly located next to the stream, so it is very essential to spread the stream to as many branches as possible. in order to keep the whole ecosystem healthy. But unfortunately, the stream has stalled on its journey before it reaches the end due to weak water flow. If water streams can't spread evenly, the growth of plants will be diminished. And finally, the decay of the entire ecosystem will quicken exponentially. So the volunteers' next task is to unblock clogged streams and let the ground become fertile once more. They are now heading to the clogged streams to widen their widths and depth while digging into the ground.
You do that. Put it to the side. Okay.
Take a photo.
Volunteers restart nature's journey by removing all obstacles that blockade the path of the water flow. This area is now ready to bear autumn bounty. The fall of leaves signal the lengthening of nights and shortening of days. Across the waves, which are like a fluttering from the autumn tree, volunteers have landed on this southern island.
The whole life they're big like this, or they will flow in?
There's 2 or 3 peacocks in there.
Yeah, I see 3 peacocks.
On Brownsea Island, where the population of wildlife is isolated from people, we met conservationists who invited our team to learn more about their mission.
On Brownsea Island, we are very well known for having red squirrels and for a bird called an avocet. I have photographed these birds, and then at the end of the book I give painting demonstrations with step-by-step instructions. During the Easter time we would make paper sculptures and we'd do artwork with paper plates and sticking collage on. There'd be peacocks and squirrels, things that are actually of local interest to the island. So they were very popular.
No sooner had she finished her interview, the wild peacock decided to show its face. Brownsea Island is a sweet home for peacocks, red squirrels, sika deers, and other wildlife. For a wide range of species, our team grabbed our saw blades to protect their habitats from invasive species.
Control, and we're always just making sure that we're pulling out rhododendron. It's a really invasive, non-native species, and it's not great for wildlife. It supports about 2 species, whereas if you have a kind of woodland or a heathland, it supports a much wider variety of species. So today you'll be doing an amazing job at helping us to kind of restore that habitat.
No, that's good for you guys. Get one that for you.
Quite a long row. I think it's from Asia.
From Asia?
Traditionally, yeah.
So it's like a dangerous plant.
Here, yeah.
Personal enjoyment. I get out and see so many different places. Places which I hadn't even realised were so near sometimes, and sometimes are so far away. I'm really glad that I was in a group to share the experience with. Getting to know all these lovely people, which I wouldn't have actually known whether if I had just stayed in my class studying. There's so much for everyone, basically. Either it's the community, the work itself, the locations, and sometimes even the food.
Brave. As brave as a bear. As bright as day. As light as play.
I have a pink rock.
You have a pink rock?
I mean a pink shell.
Okay.
And it's not just a pink shell, it's a pink heart shell.
As free as a bird. As high as the sky. Strong. Strong. Like a family. As strong as we want to be.
Asking people to fall in love with nature again, and then once you fall in love with it, then want to protect it.
Together with the world.